and welcome back to another episode of Saints and Sinners. So, as you can see here, we had some slight difficulties. For some weird reason, part of the clip I have lost it. So, what I'm going to do is re-record it, which I have done. I spent a few days trying to catch up to where I am. As you may notice too, that the landscape is now in landscape. It's no longer in a weird type of phone portrait, which is really good. Sadly, though, I did not figure this out for until maybe 2 more episodes, so you're going to have to deal with it for a little bit longer. I'm sorry for also all the complaints I had probably out these videos and the rest. Do not worry. I figured it out. It took a lot of time. It took a lot of work, but I finally figured it out. So, as to let you know for now on. After a few more videos after this one, probably 2 more or 3 at least, it will now be in landscape mode, so you will be able to enjoy it a lot more. I will be doing a lot more Oculus videos, but a lot more sparingly at least, but that is not all. Just to let you know, obviously I did have another mistake when re-recording it. Luckily, I was smart just in case it did not save the video, but I'm not going to do it again. I really don't want to. So I'm going to be quiet for pretty much the first half of this. It doesn't really matter anyway. There's a lot of talking from certain characters because this is a main story point. So, other than that, I hope you enjoyed this episode. I hope you enjoy. I really do. I really worked hard to get here. So, I hope you enjoyed this. Again, sorry. I know I've been saying that a whole bunch. So, how about we begin? Let's continue now from past me. See you then.
Hey, tourist. The intel you've been gathering for me has been enlightening to say the least. Georgia is planning on a mass exile in the very near future. Many lives are going to be at risk. I have a few things to discuss with you. I know we were going to try to avoid the face-to-face, but the plan I'm formulating warrants it. I'd appreciate your ear. Meet me in the same spot as the first time, Churchyard. Thanks for all you're doing. May. Hey, tourist. I'll get right to the point. After looking over the intel you brought me, seems like Georgia is planning to toss out a large number of people real soon. A lot of lives are going to be in jeopardy. Good news is we have some hope. The map you scored shows a safe way out of NOLA. Just need to buy some time and some space to organize exiles on a large scale. Get them ready to move. I think the reserve is going to provide the opening I need. Georgia and the Tower are so obsessed with it, don't think they'll be concerned with what I'm doing for a short while. And with the Reclaim salivating over it too, once the reserve is unlocked and revealed to the world, courtesy of you, there's gonna be a bloodbath. You can count on that. And that's when I make my move. Window won't be open long, though. It'll be tight, but I gotta take the chance.
I don't know, May. Sounds risky. Trying to get that many people out at once without Georgia noticing. You've seen the posters everywhere. She's trying to turn the whole city against you. Maybe you should just get out with Umbra while you have the chance.
You can't be serious. After all the work my daughter and I have put in to make this dream a reality, you think I should turn my back on the people I've been working so hard to help? No. I'm all in, tourist. I appreciate your concern, but we are going to uphold our promise to these people. Do or die. I will leave the key to the reserve in the drop spot for you. Lantern will be on when it's there. When the shit goes down for the reserve, if you're thinking it's all too much and you want out, come find us. The Exodus could use someone with your particular set of talents. My hope is you won't be a fool, but my mind suspects you'll be too hooked on that damn reserve pipe dream just like everybody else. All I can do is wish you good luck and good judgment, tourist. Take care of yourself.
Casey, you there? Casey, good news.
Good news? Hell, tourist. I would classify that as fucking outstanding news. No, look, I don't want to jinx it, but... No, you know what? I'm gonna keep my mouth shut. Best not to risk the jinx. Let's just forge ahead. One step at a time. Okay, so, the part to repair the final pump. Gosh, I don't have much to go on. It's weird. There's been really faint chatter about it on a few channels. It's been nothing but static for months. There's an outpost called Bastion, set up in a heavily defended duplex home. Barricades and optimal sightlines. The Reclaimed currently control it. Now, the place has been a hotbed of conflict between Tower and Reclaimed for a while. From what I'm hearing, that's where it is, so be ready for a shitstorm. Good luck, and hey, keep your head on a swivel.
Hey, Casey. Feel like bullshitting for a minute?
Yeah, sure. I ain't going nowhere. I could put this book down. Lord knows I've read it.
Hey, Casey.
Yeah, sure. I ain't going nowhere. I could put this book down. Lord knows I've read it enough times already.
What book is it?
The only book down here besides instruction manuals is this hardcore physics book called Hollow Reel. No clue who left it. I must have read it cover to cover a dozen times already, and it still blows my mind. I mean, the whole book is about this theory that the entire universe, like reality itself, is nothing more than a hologram being projected on the surface of a black hole. It sounds fucking nuts, but the math supports it, I guess. I'm trying to wrap my head around it all, but science is not really my strong suit. What about you? You a reader?
I've read a few books in my day.
Oh, what kind of books do you like?
Hands down, fantasy is my favorite genre.
Oh, never read much fantasy. What can you recommend? Maybe I can track it down someday.
The Bleedstone of Armor is an amazing tale. Epic, heroic, magical. You gotta be into vampire elves and werewolf dwarves, though.
I guess elf and dwarf stuff could be cool, but I don't know. The vampire werewolf stuff seems ridiculous, honestly. Combining the two? But maybe it's awesome. What do I know? Well, on that note, I'm gonna go do some exercises. I gotta keep limber. I mean, it's so damp and cramped down here, my body's getting real stiff. It feels like I'm fucking 80 years old. Hey, thanks for the diversion, tourist. It's nice to be reminded sometimes that we're still human beings in the middle of all this shit. Talk to you soon.
You made it. I didn't doubt that you would, of course, but my patience was beginning to be tested. Let's start with a formal introduction. You are the tourist, and I am Jean-Baptiste. JB for short. There now, we can proceed to matters of more profound consequence. It is my understanding that this gizmo here would be of use to you. It's all yours. Consider it a gift. And when we are finished with our conversation, I will provide you with the missing dial that you'll need to operate it. Sound fair?
Sounds fair.
Terrific. Now, I prefer to play it straight. Once I received word that you were collecting these devices, and to what purpose, I saw an opportunity to connect with the city's most illustrious survivor and have a chat about the reserve. So I made it a priority to acquire one, through various means I will not divulge. And now here you are. It is my hope when I am through, you will see the reserve for what it is. Nothing more than a crutch, holding back the people of this fine city from regaining themselves.
You've piqued my interest. Go on.
I am a firm believer in the greatness of humankind, our ingenuity, our art, our towering scientific achievements. This reserve nonsense, even if the rumors about what may be inside it exceed our wildest dreams, the bounty will only prolong our addiction to survivalism as the only path in life. It will stifle our creativity. It will eventually lead to our withering doom. Now, this is the proposal that I have for you. Continue your search for the reserve, and when you unearth it, which I have the utmost confidence you will, destroy it. These 4 numbers will disable the entire flood contingency system. Mother Nature will rage through the reserve and take care of the rest. 1006. Flood the reserve and set us all free. Give this still glorious city the jumpstart it needs to refocus on something much grander than mere survival. Grant us hope, tourist, and thank you, most sincerely, for hearing me out. And let's keep this chat between us, if that's all right. I'm not sure my comrades would see the big picture benefits of removing the reserve from the equation. The floor's now yours, my friend. Anything on your mind that requires clarity?
I want your perspective on the reserve.
Uh-huh.
Why choose me to destroy the reserve?
Because you're the one best equipped to find the accursed place, and I trust you will do the right thing when you do. Call it a hunch.
If the rumors about what's inside the reserve are true, wouldn't it benefit the Reclaim to get your hands on it?
You are absolutely correct. But once those supplies are gone, then what? The same old fruitless pursuits. And there is the very distinct possibility that the tower gets to it before we do. The only way to guarantee this city will move forward in the proper direction is to remove the reserve from the equation entirely.
How did you find this code to flood the reserve?
One of my scouts came across the corpse of a National Guardsman in Rampart High School. The body had a manual for a bunker's flood defense system. I put two and two together.
Oh. So one of those.
I have some
bodies
other
had
questions for you,
information nobody
JB.
know about.
I'm curious about the Reclaimed.
Yes?
What's with the gory rituals?
First one was a man I knew well in my brief tenure as a tower grunt. I'd even called him a friend. Tripp was his name. Snuck up on me in the middle of sleep. Tried to slit my throat. Still carry the scar. Well, long story short, Tripp was no match for me. I maimed him. Something awful, really. And I dragged his body about a mile all the way to the southern bump, which at the time was the most highly trafficked exit from the tower. I found an old oak, hung him upside down from it so his lifeblood would spill rapidly
That
into the
explains
soil. And upon his chest I pinned a note that read, "Keep 'em coming." And just like that, I became the most feared boogeyman Nola has seen since the Axeman. Once I had fear on my side, the rest just blossomed naturally. Those with nowhere else to go wanted what I had, so they listened. And they learned. I empowered them. That's all people want. A sense that their lives still have some meaning.
The Reclaimed have made quite a mark on the city. How did the movement get started?
After my exile from the tower for insubordination, I took to raiding their supply lines. Rather efficiently, I might add. No one ever got hurt, and other exiles clamored to join my operations. Needless to say, Mama and her cohorts were not pleased with my exploits, and they sent several communications asking me to cease my pillaging or there'd be consequences. Of course, I refused, politely. No one was going to dictate the terms of my existence anymore. But it wasn't until the tower started sending thugs out to track me down and end me that I decided it was time to send a message of my own.
I've heard snippets about the Reclaimed philosophy, but it would be enlightening to hear it from you.
It's simple, really. We want to live purposeful lives, reclaim the world and our humanity along with it. Mere survival is so petty. It's beneath us, forcing people to focus solely on survival. It's cruel, really. I believe we must invest in a future of our own design. Life is not worth living otherwise.
I have some other questions for you, JB. I've heard enough.
I have more questions.
Fair enough.
Nothing else.
Then we are finished here. The Tao, as promised.
He's very
Godspeed,
creepy.
tourist.
He's mostly is hoping that I do what he says, but there is no. He knows for sure that there is no chance. Yeah. Okay. There's more.
Wrenched when I stumbled on the reclaimed ritual.
Nothing better to do?
We finally meet, tourist. After all the hype, you're not exactly what I expected. Thought you'd be more put together, bit more danger to your presence.
Sorry to disappoint, lady. Good thing I'm not too concerned about what you think of me.
You should be, fool. Your life may depend on it. I'm Georgia. Maybe you heard of me, maybe not. I could give two shits. What does concern me is the man inside the building you just stepped out of. The time has come to silence him once and for all. Cut off the head that won't shut up. Rest of the reclaimed fools will fall back in line. Then us tower folk can get back to doing what's right, without all the noise.
He's all yours. I won't stop you.
This is where you come in, Big Shot. I'm gonna offer you an opportunity to be a hero. You game?
That depends. What the fuck do you want me to do?
Quit fucking with me, fool. You know what I want. March back up into that house and kill JB. Prove you are worth more to the tower than the cockroach you've been so far. And in return, all your fucked up transgressions will be forgiven. If you happen to find yourself in the midst of our onslaught on the reserve, tower troops will have your back. You have my word.
I take no issue with killing JB. Consider it done.
No nonsense. I dig it, tourist. I'll let you get to the deed. We'll be waiting, right here. But don't keep us waiting too long. My patience has a limit.
You've returned. To what do I owe the pleasure, tourist?
Tower troops are outside. They want you dead. I suggest you get out of here.
Well, look at you, tourist. Choosing sides. I suppose that's a good sign regarding our previous conversation. For a rogue spirit, you certainly have proven pivotal in the fight for the soul of this god-forsaken and still glorious city. I have no designs on escape. I plan to march right out of this house, gun drawn, and send a message. If you feel like joining me, I suggest you keep up. When it comes to violence, I am decisive and swift.
Whoa! You are quick. Let's go. I never chose this side, so I'm quite interested to see what happens.
We collaborate well, tourist. Together we might have been able to handle twice as many tower goons. I had forgotten how much I enjoy the thrill of a brawl. Been a while. Thanks for reminding me. And now I must bid you farewell. I have a new broadcast to prepare, hearts and minds to ignite. Perhaps you may even get a special mention. But please, do me one last favor. Keep our earlier discussion in mind when the moment arrives for you to decide the fate of the reserve. 1006. The 4 numbers that will set this city free.
I have never done that before, so I'm really interested to see what will happen. So, I don't know if I chose the right side or not, but in the same time, I have always killed him. I've always killed both. I have never once decided to save JB's life. So I am very interested to see what happens. So, sorry if no one liked my opinion on what I should do there, but I was very interested to see what happened. And in a way, it kind of brings more of an open, who knows what will happen for me. So, hey, means more chance of me saying, oh, this is different, or being actually surprised on something, which is always great. Okay, so we have what we need. Real quick, we're gonna put it together. I'm gonna instantly see what they might say on the radio, so I'm gonna do that real quick. I have never checked the radios. That's one big issue I think I have, is that I don't look at the radios at all during everything. I'm actually quite excited to see what happens now. I have done this as a full good guy in my own opinion of how I should do things. I have even done it evil, where I've killed everyone I would see. Either I would help them out and then kill them. Pretty much, I just did whatever I wanted. But now I'm in a situation where I don't know at all what's going to happen. Because now I chose a completely different side. Or nothing really could happen. That's another thing that could be the case. I wouldn't mind. It wouldn't be too bad. Well, I'm going to do that. I don't think I'm gonna need this. Pretty good condition. Not many bullets though, but it will be useful. What to do here? I can now make explosive arrows. And I can now have a pistol. I don't know if a knife will be useful or not, but I'm going to keep it just in case. I know there was like a station. Here he is.
Human beings. Hunted. Their muscle carved off bone. Sliced into meager portions, then served to a starving populace. A sinister secret. All in service to a quota designed strictly to strike fear into already subservient hearts. All in service to a quota that accomplished nothing beyond the creation of a debilitating disease. The tick. The tick is what they called it. An apt name, given the condition of those burdened by it, many of whom we have taken into our fold. And how did Tower leadership decide to handle this tick crisis? To keep those afflicted from discovering why they were sick. And when that misguided strategy failed and the truth spread like lush Spanish moss, what did these heartless scoundrels do? Did they spare no effort and exhaust every resource to correct their wrong and treat those poor afflicted souls? No. No, they did not. What they chose to do instead was to exile those sick with the tick, condemning them to certain doom, even though their own policies planted the seed for the disease in the first place. And they call us barbaric. There are atrocities that will grip the psyche of a people with such ferocity that I dare say those subjected to them may never recover their sanity. This is one of those atrocities. Makes my insides churn with anger. But this is my commitment to you, New Orleans. I will not stand by idly and allow injustice to continue to flourish within this city. Those who sit atop the Tarnished Tower throne will be brought low by the reclaimed and punished for their transgressions.
So he didn't say anything about what just happened.
I'm back, Casey. Ready to repair the pump. You still alive?
Yeah, alive, but almost swimming. No turning back after this, tourist. We have to get after it. I'm running out of time. You prepared?
Alright, I'm going to stop it right here. So I hope you enjoyed this episode like I did, and I hope to see you next time. Bye-bye!